Howdy folks, Little John in the kitchen, about to brew up a batch of beer, and it's going to be a quick batch. I'm planning on this being the quickest brew day video I've ever done. But anyway, let's quickly get about what we're at. You should be aware if you're a regular watcher of the channel, and if you're not, to catch up on what's going on. I recently bought 6 of these cans. Brewmakers Lager. Kegland was clearing them out. They obviously didn't sell particularly well. They're a kit from the UK, out of England. They had a bunch of different kits they hadn't sold, and they sold them off cheap in 6 packs. So I thought this is a good opportunity to get some beers I can do some baseline stuff with, and some really good comparisons by using the same beer and then playing around with different levels of malts and sugars and yeast, stuff like that. So this is my first brew of this lot. So I've got a can in the sink softening up. This is just going to be a simple baseline to start with. So before I fully get into it, cheers to all the Patreons. Thank you guys for your support. If you're interested in Patreon, want to know what it's about, hit the link down the bottom. If you haven't subscribed to Little John, hit the subscribe button as well. Either way, if you're watching the video, hit the like button as we go. So, as I said, this is going to be a simple, very simple brew, done to get me a baseline of what this kit does, and so we've got something to look at going forward and to compare to. But what I also want to do with this one, as always, I'm going to split the batch, and I'm going to put half into the all-rounder and ferment it under pressure, and the other half is going to go into the standard fermenter and brew, as any normal beer, typically would. So I can compare directly between the pressure ferment and a standard ferment to see if it makes any noticeable difference to the beer. Okay, so I'm just mixing this cellar up as per any can beer. Bit of hot water in there to start with. Clean and sanitise spoon. Get our tin in, it's been soaking. Now, I've never used these tins before, so I don't know what we're looking at, but this, I got 6 cans of lager. Now, I don't know exactly what kind of lager it is, but it's a lager. So, it's going to be a reasonably light beer, so it's going to give me a good base that I can actually do some, actually make some judgments on how it goes with different malts and things. So I'm just going to mix him up, and I'm going to add to this batch 400 grams of light dry malt and 600 grams of dextrose, and that's it. That's it, nice and simple, straightforward. Just really let the flavours of the tins come up and see what they do, and see what that ferment does. So I will get this fella in. All good. Now I've read through the instructions just to check there's nothing weird going on here. I do remember doing a pommy can years ago and I actually had to boil the actual can, but no, just mix it up as per normal. So I will do that. And give it a good mix as I go. So as I said, 400 grams of light dry malt. Get it in there now while it's warm, but not and 600 grams of depth, which conveniently is pretty much exactly what I've got here in this bag. I just dump the whole thing in and continue to stir, getting some oxygen and air in here and topping up as I go. Alright, 23 litres. That's enough. Now grab your hydrometer so I can get a gravity reading. Righto, put my hydrometer. Got a fair old mix. Let's just clear the tap. Well, it looks like beer. Smells like beer. Not particularly hoppy, but it smells like beer nonetheless. It's right in the beer section of the hydrometer. Sitting on, let's call it 1038. So that's, we're going to expect to get a high 3%, maybe into the 4s. A little bit of priming on the bottle, but I probably won't prime. I'll probably go to the keg transfer and bottle straight from there. So we might get a little bit low depending on how the yeast goes. Speaking of yeast, just going to use this fella. This is just a jar of 3470 slurry. After the last batch of with the Blue Mountain Lager, so this is that's probably about 2 weeks old now, maybe 3 weeks. I'm going to drain that and I'll just pitch half of that into each fermenter. So as I said, half of this into the all-rounder, I'll do that under pressure, and the other half into a 15 litre fermenter. Into the fridge, I'm going to do these at 12 degrees. As a proper lager ferment, so we can get a true indication of how this travels. I'm not going to go through all the transferring and all the rest of it. You know what that looks like. So I'm going to get on with that. I'll get this into the fridge. But that's it. Brewmakers Lager, done fairly straight up. Like I said, first of what should be 6 ongoing experiments over the next couple of months. With these kits. So, as always, any questions, any comments, stick them down the bottom. Again, thank you to Patreons. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you're watching the video. If you're still here, hit the like button. Jump on, have a look at other stuff that Little John's got going on. But that's me for today. So, till I see you again. We're brewing beer, drinking beer, or we talking beer. Good brewing.